The agriculturists need not to even register for GST. Why? Because they are exempt from taxation. You are not sure with your sales and purchases, you can go for provisional assessment. What is provisional assessment? Approximate amount. More than one associated, they will also invest capital, they will participate in the business, they will participate in the activities of the business. So those are called as associated enterprises. Hello everyone, this is your Adarsh, lecturing Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. So we are in the session 2 of your topic called Indirect Tax. Under Indirect Tax, we are discussing about the definitions. Under definitions, in the sense, as I told you, we have almost 24 definitions. In the previous session, we have discussed about 3 major definitions like your aggregate turnover, place of delivery. Like this, we have completed 3 definitions in the previous session. In today's session, we will discuss another 3 to 4 major definitions. So agenda is very simple. We will understand the concept. Along with concept, we will learn the definitions also. Definition number 4. We have done with 3 and we are into 4th one. Now, in this, first thing will be agriculturist. Under GST, to whom do we call it as agriculturist? Because normally what happens, agriculture comes under exemption category. So we should know that who comes under agriculturist. So what is the definition of agriculturist? Now, as per this, according to GST Act, only an agriculturist to the extent of supply of produce out of cultivation of land is exempt. Remember, whatever goods, like you have a land, some place, XYZ place, whatever crops you have grown, that is exempted. Once you have grown and it is transferred to the seller, later he has done some packing like milk converted to butter, milk converted to paneer. These things and all will not come under exemption. These things will have to be paid tax. Now, only your raw food, we call it as exempted. Once if it is converted to something else, it is not exempted. Now, I'll give you an example like extent of supply of produce out of cultivation. Whatever you have cultivated, those comes under exemption category. Of land, from land you have cultivated, is exempt from GST registration requirement. The agriculturists need not to even register for GST. Why? Because they are exempt from taxation. Now, further, the Act goes on to define an agriculturist as an individual or Hindu undivided family. Even HUF also comes under agriculturist if they fulfill whatever basic conditions. Now, an individual Hindu undivided family who undertakes cultivation of land. The person, the real farmer comes under agriculturist. Now, by own labor or like by the labor of the family, like your family members also, you can call it as agriculturist if they are also involved in the cultivation. Then by servant on wages payable in cash or kind or by hire. If you have taken, like if you have a land of 5 acres of land, alone you cannot do cultivation. You need laborers. You pay wages to them. You hire them. You pay them. Whatever the facility you have given to them, all comes under your agriculture incomes only. Now, servant of wages, it is your expenditure in the agriculture, payable in cash or kind by the hired. Last one, labor under personal supervision or the personal supervision of any member of the family, all comes under labor in the definition of labor. Now, so continuation, hence only small agriculturist would be exempt from GST compliances. Any person who operates a company or LLP, like what he does, like he grows corn. He grows what? Corn. After cultivation, he converted into popcorns. He converted into sweet corns. All this extra thing he will do now. For that, he has to register as LLPR company. Then he will come under GST slab. If he is only agriculturist, he will grow and he will sell. Then it is exempted. He will grow, he do some modification, then he will sell. That is called taxable. Like, so wheat you have grown, later you have made some packing, everything you have done. Who is called as seller, not agriculturist. So in this, any other type of entity for the purpose of undertaking agriculture would be required to obtain GST registration. These kind of people need GST registration. Wheat, it is agriculture product, but if you make it as a powder and wheat powder, if you sell, that comes under GST, that is a food item, because whatever you have cultivated from the land, later you have done alteration. If you have done any alteration, then it will attract GST. You are supposed to register for GST. Now, in aggregate turnover criteria or other GST registration criteria is satisfied and they sell goods that attract GST. Whatever I told you now, wheat cultivated and later it made it into powder and selling, that comes under GST slab. So we're done with your fourth one. Now we'll go to the fifth one. There is only a 5-mark question. I will not go in detail actually, because for 5 marks in detail not required. Now, definition 5, your assessment. What is the assessment actually? Like, you have written your examination. You have done with your examination. Later what will happen? Your exams will be corrected, evaluated. After evaluating, they will give you marks. These are called as assessment. Evaluation of your paper is called assessment. Now, similarly, you have done sales as well as purchases for complete 1 month, 2 months or 3 months. Later, you have to file the return. You have to show that this money amount of sales I have done. This is my purchaser. This is my input tax. This much I am supposed to pay GST. All this calculation you will show. That is called assessment. In this, we have almost 7 kinds of assessment. Self-assessment. Remember, done by us, done by GST payer, holder. It is only self-assessment. Done by office, your GST council. These things. Remember, what are the assessment done by us? It is only self-assessment. Other than self-assessment, rest of the things are done by officials like GST councils. So it is not done by us, it is done by GST council. Now, self-assessment. What is self-assessment? Very simple. Self-assessment in the sense like, so whatever your total sales, aggregate sales, like your output less your input, and how much GST payable. It is calculated by whom? It is calculated by us, individuals, or HUF. Now, so these are called as self-assessment, calculated by self itself. But we have provision assessment, we have scrutiny assessment, we have best judgment assessment, assessment of non-filers of returns, assessment of unregistered person, summary assessment. Everything is requested by your what? Officers, GST council. The GST council will request you, give me the detailed one. Or else, if you're not proper, if you're not sure with your sales and purchases, you can go for provisional assessment. What is provisional assessment? Approximate amount. Until and unless you calculate the exact value, will go for approximate value. That is called your provisional assessment. What is the next one? Scrutiny assessment. Scrutiny, it is not legal actually. Why it is not legal means, scrutiny means they will go in detail. You have shown your sales is around 5 lakh. You shown only 2 lakh. Your sales is how much? 5 lakh. But you shown how much? Only 2 lakh. Now, the difference of 3 lakh, you have cheated to the government. You have not paid. If government came to know that you have done sales more than 2 lakh but you are showing less, then what government will do? They will go in detail. They will appoint some person who will be investigator. He will investigate and he will get to know what is your actual sales. He will go and contact all your customers, all your suppliers, so that they should know that how much you have purchased, how much you have sold. This is called scrutiny. Scrutiny means detail check. I'll write down here. Scrutiny means what? Detailed checking is called as scrutiny. Hope you are clear. Yes. Now, best judgment assessment, assessment of non-filers, assessment of unregistered, one who are not registered, and summary assessment all comes under, it is not comes under self-assessment. It is opposite to self-assessment, which is required by the officers. Now, so I have given you a small chart here to understand. Like, see, in the assessment, by the taxpayer, as I told you, by us, we will fill only one, that is self-assessment. But by the tax authority, means the council, they will go for provisional, summary, scrutiny, best, non-filers, as well as unregistered person. These are done by tax authority. So if you have 5-mark question on your assessment, please try to draw this chart so that you will get 5 out of 5. The last one for the day, your associated enterprises. Now, for the purpose of this section, and in the associated enterprises, we have section starts from 92A. From 92A, we have 92B, 92C, 92D also. Now, 92E as well as 92F also. Now, associated enterprises in relation to another enterprise means, and first one, which participate directly or indirectly or through one or more intermediary in the management or control or capital of the other enterprises. Associated means what? More than one. More than one associated. They will also invest capital. They will participate in the business. They will participate in the activities of the business. So those are called as associated enterprises. See, these 2 points are enough to understand. Now, which participates directly or indirectly or through one or more intermediaries. So they will not come directly. They will come on behalf of them. Like, indirectly they will involve. So indirectly they will give plans. Indirectly they will invest. So all called as your associated enterprises. So intermediaries in the management or control or capital of the other enterprises. Now, in respect of which one or more person who participate directly or indirectly or through one or more intermediaries in its management or control or capital are the same person who participate directly or indirectly or through one or more intermediary in the management or control or capital of the other enterprise. These are comes under your associated enterprises. Hope you are clear. Yes. So this is all about your today's session. I'll go back to all the sessions, actually, all the slides, so that you can take screenshot. So this is your session number, your definition 4, continuation, definition 5, chart, definition 6. Yes. So this is all about your today's session. Hope you have understood. So please work out one by one. All put together 24 you cannot learn. So that's why I have taken 3, 4, 3, 4 like this, so that it will be easy for you to remember as well as understand. Thank you.